Okay, welcome back. And so today we're going to go to the next function. The function we're going to talk about today is the square root function. And the square root function is a function that we've seen before because we've been dealing with square roots. And so we have an idea of how this behaves. So it will be a little bit of review, but this is going to be the basic function where we're going to be able to transform, use to transform into other square root functions. So let's start with the basics here. So the square root function is the square root of x. Okay, that's the basic function. And so here's what the graph looks like. And so if you plot these points, I used just the perfect squares. Okay, make it easy to graph. So the square root of 0 is 0, square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, 9 is 3, and then 16 gives us 4. So I plotted the first two, and so it has this like half of a sideways parabola is what it looks like. So if you took the squaring function and rotated it 90 degrees and then just cut it in half. So we're only dealing with the positive side because remember, we can't have negative values under the radical here. So we can't go this way, so it doesn't go this way. Okay? And that means we can't get negative values for y either. Okay, because all we can do is put non-negative values in here, which means we're only going to get non-negative values out, which means we're going to be in this quadrant. Okay, so this is what the basic function looks like. Okay, so now, what about the characteristics here? Okay, so the characteristic is the domain. Now here's the domain, and again, this goes back to what we've talked about before, is the domain is going to be all values of x that can go into this function, right? So if you look at the function, or if you look at the graph, you'll see that the domain is going to be everything from 0, all non-negative values of x. So that means 0, so we're going to include 0 to positive infinity, which also means then the range has to be the same, 0 to positive infinity, okay, in this case. Now, decreasing, no, it's not decreasing anywhere. Okay, but it is increasing, but it's only increasing from 0 to positive infinity. And notice that I have the parenthesis here because we're looking at open intervals, right? So it's increasing from 0 to positive infinity. And of course, continuous, it is continuous on that same interval from 0 to infinity. Okay, and so notice that the domain, so that is the square root function. Okay, and that's it. So again, remember remember these characteristics. Okay, remember the basic graph of the square root function, and then when it comes to transformations, this will be much easier. Okay, that's it. Have a great day.